Nice and long. And then this used to be my bedroom, so half came into the dining room and half became the kitchen. And this thing was there in our bedroom. We had our TV here, something like that, and music system here and TV here or something. So this became a kitchen. I said, I'm going to move it out, let's use it up. Do it. She likes her own company.
Yeah.
She loves what she does, so doesn't need more company than that.
Before I said it, you said it out yourself. So that's LB for you. So we'll get on with the conversation. So guess who is a serial chiller?
The
Hello.
first time I saw this, I thought it was serial killer. This is a gift.
But it's an interesting title, serial chiller, and I think that's how you should be in life, right? Be a serial
Well,
chiller.
I'm trying to chill like mad. I chilled in the car driving all the way to such a beautiful drive. All the red sable flowers, and I must say the drive was very chilling. I almost passed out.
I hope it wasn't very long,
It was 50 minutes, which
50
is
minutes,
less
yeah.
than what I expected.
right? But the last time you did so this is not like a podcast, but the last time you did something like this, you were wearing the same.
No, it was totally impromptu like today. You
Yeah.
said come and we'll see what happens.
So
we'll
this is
see.
not really a podcast. It's just like a conversation. Today we'll see where it goes. We'll share perspectives here. One of the things that I was thinking about was age is something which is really held against someone. What do you have to say about age?
Please don't talk to me about age because I'll start freaking out. When I went on safari
Yeah.
and I was coming out of the jeep. मैडम आस्ते संभल के ऐसे ठीक तो कर रही हूँ हाँ लेकिन आप थोड़ा अपना ध्यान रखिए ये आपके एज के मुताबिक I looked at him, I got off the jeep and I climbed on again and I climbed back in again. I said, don't you ever talk to me about my age. No, I don't mean it like that, madam. मैंने सोचा आप संभल के. I said, okay, I appreciate you talking to me about this. But किसी के साथ उम्र की बात मत करो. चाहे 70 साल की है, चाहे 50
बिल्कुल.
या 20 की. She is doing what she is doing.
Yeah.
आप उधर खड़े रहो हेल्प करने के लिए.
Right.
मैं बोलूँगी आपको. Can you please help me stand here, which I normally do. I put my hand on the guide's shoulder and then I come down. But that day I don't know what happened. I think everyone was in a rush to get back inside and they were hungry and don't ask.
But there are always brackets to this age, like 20, 25, everybody wants to be older or act older or look older. Then once you cross 30 तो ऐसा हो जाता है बूढ़े हो रहे हो धीरे धीरे 40, 50 तो उसके बाद तो ऐसा लगता है कि मतलब people expect कि you should talk in a certain way, you should dress in a certain way.
Well, I don't do things in a certain way. I'll give you one short episode. Just got married, going to my in-laws' house. Most fantastic in-laws you could have. And I was just sitting there very quietly, bored out of my mind. So my mother-in-law, sweetheart that she was, says, what's wrong with you? I said, I'm very tired of this sari. Can you please do something about it? She said, okay. Wear whatever you want. So husband on one side, mother-in-law on the other, taking out all the bobby pins.
What are bobby pins?
These are little judaka pins.
अच्छा वो.
And said now, and she combed my hair out. And she said, जो पहनना है पहन लो. So I promptly jumped into my trousers and my t-shirt. And meanwhile, my husband had just stepped out. I think he was smoking then. And so I followed, pati ke piche. And my neighbor's two sons were playing cricket. Do you know, I was playing cricket 1 hour after I got
Married.
into my mother-in-law's house, in my husband's house.
Oh, nice.
I was playing cricket there. Then
This was in Delhi?
this was in Delhi, in Pandara Road. Then next year again I was playing cricket.
But मतलब this
Vida
say
ke
1 or
baad
2
I have
hours.
to behave like a
Right.
like a
Especially
bahu yaar.
पहले हाँ. Right.
But she didn't believe in all that. Anyway, next year again I was playing cricket and all these elderly ladies came. No किथे है जी?
हाँ जी.
No उत्थे cricket खेल रही 50 रुपए पकड़ा है भाग गए. So my mother-in-law said, if you had sat here for half an hour, कम से कम 100-200 तो कमा लेती उसी के बीच में. I said, right.
Which year was this?
68.
So your mother-in-law was very, very liberal and very this thing.
Oh, she was fantastic. She didn't believe in Reet Rivas beyond the point. She did her kirtans and everything. But she never forced me to do anything. She hated me in the kitchen because I made a mess. And of course, I never liked cooking, didn't know how to cook. It was hilarious. So she'd sit there and I'd be sitting here making cold coffee for her while she was cooking. So we had a great relationship.
Where do you think this thing of women only cooking came from? I wonder why, because men also cook great. There are chefs, and of course now things have changed. But I don't know why this whole thing of men had to earn and women had to cook. And
I don't. Yeah, that's a good question actually. I guess because a woman is not doing anything else.
what do you think of house husbands these days? If
I think it's fantastic. Why not?
because at the end of it, it's just dividing responsibility, right?
Whether you're a man or a woman,
Yeah.
one stays home,
Yeah.
the other earns. But the one who's staying home can also earn a living.
Correct.
Whether it's a man or a woman.
Correct.
So how does it matter?
How does it matter?
I think I get very, very impressed by men who can stay home and look after the house.
Yeah, because I think it's again call it an art or call it a skill, looking after the children or doing things on your own.
See, the mindset is very important. None of all this ego system. Ki my wife is earning, I'm sitting in the house. They don't have an ego because as long as the wife
Yeah.
and the husband have an understanding, the rest of the world can go fly off.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. And you cannot live कि लोग क्या कहेंगे. You cannot live like that. You'll never have a life.
Right.
I mean, if I had to do that, neither my husband nor I followed any particular norms per se.
Hmm.
We didn't want to attend a wedding, we didn't go. We were playing golf.
Tell me about your golf. Also about the short films that you made. I'll see if I can put links. And what prompted you to make the short films? Also about this wildlife craze that you have in golf. Let's talk first about the golf aspect first.
My husband was playing in Calcutta and I had no time. Then we came to Delhi and I still had no time until one day I picked up my bag and I said, I'm coming.
Hmm.
And I started hitting. And I must say I did pretty well. I did very well. But I am not a competitive golfer. And I do not play with a bunch of women because they are competitive.
Hmm.
And they're very critical somehow.
Yeah.
And with a man, you can say what you like, do what you like. He doesn't look at you with that, oh, you're a useless player kind of thing, or you're not as good as me.
So your husband taught you golfing.
No,
You just learned
I
it.
learned from a friend, from my caddy, who I still use. And I played one shot at a time. I don't think कि आगे क्या होगा.
Hmm.
That is the course. I have to play the course. If it's downhill, then I play left to go right.
Yeah.
तो थोड़ा देख के चलना पड़ता है.
Hmm.
In life, you have to look where you're going.
Yeah.
So in golf also, it teaches you a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Teaches you to go in the right direction. Just teaches you to be one with nature.
Hmm.
And I don't like playing with people beyond the point. I like playing with men. Men are hilarious on the course. You can say what you like. You can tell them, okay, I'm taking a mulligan. They won't object.
Yeah.
Or say, look, it's too much in the rough. The ball, can I pick it up? And you pick it up and you put it. And then you get your par. But then the man says, but that's an extra shot you took. I said, not when I'm playing with you. Then call it an advantage. So that's the advantage I have over there. And it's fun. I don't want to go and get serious about my game.
Hmm. And are you competitive when it comes to playing sports, or like do you just enjoy it and you're like, ठीक है, score जो बन रहा है बनने दो, it's just a game at the end of it. It's not a competition.
No, always enjoyed it. But in school, yes, there was a competition, but not amongst us.
Hmm.
Like in basketball, you've got to learn to throw the ball for the person to score because that person is in the right place. There was a girl who was not very generous about this. She wanted to score. No, scoring and getting points is not something which only I can do. You have to be in the right place in the right time. The ball passed to you. You pass it to the person who's at the right place.
Yeah.
To get that point for your team. It's teamwork. Now in golf is fighting against your own self.
Huh, golf is like more than a team thing. It's
You're
like a
competing
solo thing.
with
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
constantly. But I don't like to compete with anybody or with myself. If I have a bad game, I say screw it. I'll do better next time. I don't care. So I'm not competitive that way. I did join one or two competitions and I had a very bad experience. So I said it's better to stay away from these women. And there were these two foreigners also,
Hmm.
who at the end of the 9 holes, I was so fed up of them. Because they kept telling me, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that this way, you should putt like this. So I said, okay, come here. Now I'm not playing with you anymore. Give me your scorecards. I took their scorecards and I tore it up. I went huffing and puffing and the pro was standing there. He saw me crying. He said, I'm crying out of frustration. because I don't like being bullied on the course. I don't like being told I'm doing something wrong unless I ask you. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
I'm doing something wrong, teach me.
Hmm.
But while I'm taking a putt, while I'm taking a shot, why is she butting in and telling me you're standing in the wrong direction? I've got my caddy to tell me.
Yeah. I agree on this actually. I think when I was in school also, there are these people who have this habit of just taking over. And that is at any age, that we'll teach you or you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely.
Whereas a sport could be anything. You could just have fun playing it just for the experience of it, or you might get good at it. But not like sabotaging the whole thing that this is how you play it.
Sabotage is the word.
Yeah.
So I like playing with my caddy, Pradeep.
Okay.
We have great fun and we compete.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I'm up 100, he's up 100, whatever. But if I'm up, then I don't take the money from him. So then what he does is, he buys me a packet of biscuits.
Okay.
He says, well, you won, so this is for you. Which is 20 bucks, which is fine.
And how long are you playing golf now? How many years?
Oh my God, many years. 10, 15, 17 years now.
Nice.
15 for sure.
Okay.
But never really took it up seriously. Never serious. I used to go for the fun of it, be out. Never played in summer. But winter was nice to be out in the open and not go and think about the next coffee party or the pearls and the diamonds. No, thank you.
Tell us about your life in Calcutta. So you got married in Delhi and then you moved to Calcutta, then back to Delhi. So
Yeah.
life in Calcutta years ago?
Very hectic because children were growing up. Children were born there actually. And I never had time for myself. I was home, hearth, then we shifted. It was very interesting also because I enjoyed a lot of my life in Calcutta because I grew up there. So school friends were there. But we were both pretty much party animals, I think. We enjoyed going to the club.
Was Tantra there at that time?
Tantra?
The discotheque, I don't know if it's there
No,
now.
Tantra, I don't know, but there was the Pink Elephant, if I remember, and there was one at the Oberoi.
That used to be famous, I know.
Yeah, that was famous. We were invited there once. We couldn't afford it
Okay.
by a very rich friend. And it was good fun. We couldn't afford all these places.
Okay.
So we always had someone to take us out. He was traveling a lot, this friend. So every time he came to Delhi, which was about twice, 3 times a month, we were there.
Okay. And how did this whole thing of the 2-3 short films that you showed me, how did that start? What got you into that?
Well, that bus journey was just off. I don't know how it happened. My driver came and told me about the problems he had on the bus that day.
Yeah.
And part of those problems I showed in the bus and added my own little. So I showed it to a friend, said this will make a lovely little short film. Showed it to a script writer, we wrote the script. It was like here today, done tomorrow, edited and finished.
So you just like the idea, you...
We were at the right
Shot it.
place at the right time with different people who agreed.
Right.
But it may not have happened also. May not have happened.
And what's the name of this short
Gosh,
film?
if only.
Gosh, if only, and it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. And basically a lot of people on the bus are daydreamers. They have a journey from
Yeah.
A to B. So they're dreaming, if only I could have done this. And there's a little dream sequence of this short fellow we had invited to join. And he was a dwarf. I don't know what, I hope that doesn't sound rude.
No, I don't
But,
think so. There's no, for lack of a better
He had
word.
this dream about falling in love with a very pretty woman, so we had a pretty girl sitting next to him, and the dream sequence went on full Bollywood style, running in slow motion and stuff like that. So, and we had a little theft on the bus also.
Oh,
That was hilarious. Hilarious. Then the same photographers, the same director was like helping the director also. And some of the actors are real big wigs in Bollywood today.
in which year did you shoot this?
Oh God, 20 years.
I said it was 20 years, okay. 20 years, which is 2005, so obviously you couldn't shoot it on phone. Oh, I of course have shot...
No,
in
regular,
the-
proper camera and everything.
A handy cam or a proper camera?
Proper camera.
Okay. Now of course things have become very convenient to shoot things. But people who don't know this, I shot something back in 2008. This was for a competition. Farhan Akhtar and all these people were the judges. But this was just to see how things are. This is before I ventured into acting. But things are way simpler now to shoot on a phone, right? To just have a phone
Yeah,
and
because
mics and.
also AI comes in very handy, doesn't it?
I mean, of course, it can polish your script and everything, give you ideas, give you captions and everything. So,
Up to a point.
how are you with how are you with technology? What do you think about AI?
I do chat GPT because I like taking photographs as I took yours
Yeah,
and I turned you into a gypsy.
yeah. I'll try and put that screenshot of that photograph. It was quite accurate, me with a beard and everything. But yeah,
But I enjoyed that. I don't. So one day I put a poem there to say that there's one word which I'm repeating. And can you change the word?
yeah.
And can you imagine chat could not change that word? Chat actually changed the 3 lines of the poem.
Yeah.
And I didn't like those lines because it was not me. And so I stopped using it after that because, but then it becomes cheating after a while, I think.
So I think the thing I realized with these two things that are very prevalent right now, one is ChatGPT, Google Gemini. Going forward, I don't know how many AIs are going to be there. There's obviously others, Claude and everything. But I think, like we also spoke about this, Google Gemini is, sorry for the lack of a better word, it's a little stubborn. It's like this stubborn child. ChatGPT, I think, is a little more listening. It's a.
But I tried Gemini and I kept saying don't change the face.
Yeah.
So Ashish Bhatia became some other Bhatia. And I said, but this doesn't look like Ashish. And I did a moustache. And it was nothing like you. So I
Yeah,
said, okay.
it changed my face a little bit. Yes, I mean so.
So then I went back to chat. Then I went back to, then I said, okay, now I'm going to start again. So I gave a long thing, don't change the face, put this, put that, don't change the face. 3 times I repeated, don't change the face. Then I think it's denser than me probably.
No, I think it's just what I've realized is it's the art of giving the AI a command. That's what it is. So it's like.
But I said don't change the face. You can't make it look, Ashish make it look like LB.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Okay, that's one thing that's one thing. I don't call her auntie or everything just because she's older. What do I call you?
LB?
Yeah. I like that too. I mean, I wouldn't like people younger than me calling me uncle or anything. I know.
But I'm not your auntie and I'm
Yeah,
not
I know,
your
I know,
uncle.
and I don't
How
call
am
you.
I related to you to be an uncle?
No. I mean, I'm saying generally, I'm talking about me. That I don't like people if they call me uncle or whatever. It's like you can call me Ashish. I like that because I think that is one thing we share in common is you don't like to feel our age. Age is just it's all in the mind. It's
Actually, getting older is quite frightening. But then it's how you deal with it as you go along.
I'm sure
So
that.
I try and condition my mind.
Hmm.
Okay, you're not feeling well, it's fine. Even a youngster doesn't
Right.
feel well.
Right.
But sometimes it does bother me. Let's be very frank about it.
Hmm.
It does bother me. I'm getting older. Maybe in the next 2-3 years, I may not be able to do a safari. That's my biggest worry. I want to be on safari till the last day. I know I'm driving much less because I get abusive on the road.
Okay.
So
That's an honest confession.
No, I've actually jammed my car in front of these youngsters
Okay.
who are watching me drive my very fancy car.
Yeah.
And they're driving past in whatever it is that I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And then they'll see me and smile. So I'll wave out to them. Very nice. They'll try and zip past. I'm driving slowly because I know the light is going. They'll start zipping past and they stop at a red light. So then I put the window down. I said, to what purpose? What
Yeah.
purpose has it served you to stop and
Another-
jam your brakes?
But how do you think traffic was about 40-50 years ago?
Oh my God. It
Were
was,
people still so much in a
There was no
hurry?
traffic.
There was no traffic. Yeah, that was one of the
each
things.
family had one car or no
Yeah,
cars.
yeah. Now every family, if there are
Not
4
every
people,
family
having 4
of 4
cars.
has 3 cars.
At least 3 cars. Yeah, 1 per person.
But your drive to your place was a dream to me. The beautiful sable trees, and
Thank you.
for the first time,
Yeah.
I saw a light orange, saffrony color.
Hanji, you messaged me regarding that.
Beautiful, beautiful drive. I took a little nap also. I had a good driver.
So I want to know what are your views on life? I mean, these are things you can't really help. Age and how maybe it slows you down, or how you're forced to do, you're forced to adjust to things. But how have your views on life changed? On generally on life, what do you think about life at this point?
Well, initially I had no time to think about life. Life just happened.
Huh.
From one thing to
Daughters
the
and
other,
then
yeah.
the whole.
Then when everybody started going away and my husband's business was picking up and he had people, he was golfing, I couldn't always golf with him. Because then I had other responsibilities of parents and in-laws.
Right.
Then when they also went, then I said enough. Then I asked around, I tried a couple of things, I talked to people, and one fine day I just got up, I said, okay, I'm writing poetry, and I wrote it. My first few lines was on tissue paper with my kajal pencil.
And that I think is very artistic, writing it on a tissue paper, because
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think I who spoke about this on a. There are some good videos you watch on Reels. Somebody said that I just whatever I feel like writing at times I try to write it down. What do you think about writing things on the phone versus writing on a piece of paper, like the old raw form of writing?
Oh, right, that piece of paper, you are connected.
Yeah.
Typing is like after a point I get cramps.
You
I
don't
like.
feel things. Like if you were to write a poetry, would you feel the same?
Yeah, it's in a way for me it's faster because I can cancel and write some more.
Right.
There you have to go backwards and forwards and you delete and then you don't get the feel of it and the print is so small. This way I write and I write pretty fast and then I know I can go back to it comfortably and I don't want to use the phone all the time.
Yeah.
It's very...
It's a little addictive.
I like my pen and paper. I'll never stop doing that. Any day. Any day.
Okay.
But even that poetry writing, I think I read something on TV about some spiritual guy talking about something. And I went into the washroom to just pick up some soap and make sure things were around and around. And I saw this tissue paper lying there and this kajal. I started thinking about those two lines. And I said, wow, they are beautiful lines. And I just made a note and I expanded in the bathroom on that tissue paper.
Do you remember the lines?
Not right now.
Not
It's
right
in
now?
one of my books.
Okay.
Can't remember what it was.
Okay. So, this is something that I see a lot on Reels right now, and with age, even I wonder, how much of life do you? I think this is a very, this is a question which will differ from person to person in terms of the perspective. But how much do you think lives are fated and it happen? How much does karma change it? Since you also mentioned karma, obviously, I think you can't just pray and wait for things to happen. But how much do you think is?
Well, karma also plays a big part in this. But you can't say that's my karma to be like this. You have to persevere. You have to work towards what you want to do. You work towards your karma. You work hard. And then what you get is what you were supposed to get. But then at the same time, you can say, I should have got more.
Yeah.
But you didn't. Okay.
Everybody feels they're a contender, but I think they just have filters. Ki maybe it wasn't fated, maybe we weren't destined to do this, or where do you think one can? I haven't asked this question to anybody, and I wonder about it a lot. Where do you think one can draw a line if you want a certain life, you're not getting it, to maybe switch things or leave that thing, move on, and say that maybe this is not destined for me, or maybe this is not my path. Do you think giving up is a good thing, changing paths is a good thing, or not? Since you also mentioned that you've also been a jack of all trades. I myself have been like a jack of all trades, but it's what do you think?
Well, luckily for me, as I am a jack of many trades.
Yes.
But luckily for me, I got the opportunity to pursue those trades.
Right.
And maybe I was monetarily okay.
Yeah.
But when I wanted the money to make the films, I got it. But I still want to make more films on life, on animals, on what I think is important for people to understand. But I don't know, I don't have the right connections maybe. So I can't keep pursuing something where I know there will be a blockage. I know there'll be a blockage because I'm not well connected. So I can ask somebody, "Ki, look, I want to meet so and so." It's like when a friend of mine and I, we wrote a few scripts. We went to Bombay and went from one uh, producer to the other. But nothing happened, so we dropped it. Now, 25 years ago, if I wrote something, even no, 20 years ago, and I'm still sitting on that, then you wasted your time.
Yeah. Okay.
So luckily I got an opportunity. So I said, okay, let's forget about this. I'm going on safari. And somebody came and said, let's go on safari. And then I never looked back. From 2012, I haven't looked back.
Okay. I want to talk about this.
Photography.
Yeah. So since you mentioned that you've been a jack of many trades, let's talk about your love for pottery. Then we'll talk about your love for animals.
Well, pottery was very unexpected. I was in Auroville. I was at a friend's pottery wheel. And there was this young man who was teaching me how to use the wheel. I was a total klutz. Wasn't able to do it with my hands because you have to center yourself and do this and do that. She said, okay, we'll do slab work. So I made a small tray and I really enjoyed the feel of the clay, not so much as the design of what I had made, but the feel of the matti in your hands, you know.
That you're creating
So
something.
malleable. You can mold it, you can break it, you can roll it, you can do anything you like. It just feels, you feel very grounded.
So was it like a workshop? Did you learn it somewhere? Did you
No
just
workshop
all of a
then.
sudden
No.
just
Then I came back and then through various connections I joined a workshop here.
yeah.
And I went for 2-3 years there. And slowly I had very good teachers. I learned a little bit at a time and then I had my own quirky ideas. And I don't do normal stuff. I make very quirky stuff. Then I went to Goa and learned how to make fish in clay.
Okay.
That's also, you know, my bubble fish and my normal fish, and I must show that to you. You saw my bubble fish last time.
I remember seeing the fish. I don't remember much, but I remember seeing the paintings, and I asked you what was the thought behind this, and it was pretty artistic. Just got me thinking. You know, especially those 4 monks, and one was behind, and 3 were ahead. So
I don't know. I just found that I couldn't paint faces.
yeah.
So I found a lot of things which just showed part of the face, and monks were very peaceful for me to paint.
Right.
It was crazy.
Right.
But the first monk I ever painted was, my daughter had done a brochure for an art gallery, so I told my husband about this one particular painting of monks. She said, okay, this is my budget, don't cross the budget. I said, okay. So she found out, and it was 3 times what he had said about the budget. It was 3 times that. So Priyanka said, don't worry, you like painting, so I'll get you the picture and you copy it on canvas. So I copied it on canvas and it cost me 2,000 rupees to make it. As simple as that.
This is years ago. Yeah.
No, so I can't copy. I'm good at copying.
No, that I
stuff.
saw. That I saw.
But don't ask me to use my brains. I can't use my mind.
No, but imitation I think is one of the forms of flattery. So I think even to copy it in a good way is.
And I love making murgas for some reason. There's this hand just moves like this to create the feathers.
मतलब उसमें pottery में या painting में?
Then painting me. They're making
अच्छा.
this murga. Then
Okay.
in my pottery I like making bubble fish. I like making fish. I like making quirky bowls.
Yeah.
And right now, this young potter and I were trying out something. I'll show you the pictures.
Okay.
Out
I'd
of
love to.
nothing, something came.
Right.
It is very interesting.
This is an interesting line. Out of nothing, something again. I think that's the way of life. That out of nothing comes something. So I saw this. People talk a lot about meditation all these days. I'm still very curious about these things. Like meditation, people say if you go to Shunya, and what are your views about meditation? Has it brought about any changes? How long have you been doing meditation?
I don't meditate per se.
Okay.
For me, meditation is sitting in my house with nobody bothering me.
Without the phone, with the.
No, then I'm painting or I'm doing some pottery. I'm just sitting.
That's a good
If
meditation.
the phone rings, let it ring.
Yeah.
It's there. It's
Yeah.
ringing.
Yeah.
I'll have a look and see. But I'm happy in my company, so
Yeah.
that is my meditation. I do not go and seek company beyond the point.
Right.
I don't look out for company.
That's one thing I think common with me. Why do you think there's this whole thing, especially when we're younger, that we seek company or being a I don't know. I would say I'm a bit of a loner, but why is it? Why is being a loner? Why is enjoying your own company bad?
It's not bad at all. So many times I've told you're being very antisocial. I said, but I'm happy, and if I go and be
Yeah.
sociable, I don't feel happy about it. So what's the point? I come back disgruntled.
It becomes a noise, right? At times,
It's
if
unnecessary.
yeah,
Sometimes it's totally unnecessary. I mean, there's a wedding and there are 500 people. What's the big deal if you don't attend it? No, you should have come. I said, but I'm not happy attending the wedding. I will send the gift regardless. I don't want to go to attend weddings. I don't like crowds. I don't like all this dressing up and it's too much of a botheration. Everything should happen naturally. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe, thank God my children don't want to get married because I cannot imagine
that's
going through this thing of shopping and all this dressing up of spaces and mandabs and please, mere se nahi hota.
that's nice. I was about to get to that. So as somebody who's still not married, and I don't think I think being in love is good, having companionship is okay, but marriage. What
Today I discourage youngsters from getting married. I actually discourage. I said, you're getting married, oh very nice, but why are you saying that?
Yeah.
I said, very nice, I'm very happy for you. But have you sorted out your funda? कि शादी हो गई तो इसके माने ये नहीं करो वो नहीं करो
हाँ.
सास के पैर दबाओ.
Right.
I said, you can be nice to your sas. I was very nice to her and she was nice to me. We never had a sas-bahu relationship.
Nice.
But I looked after her and she looked after me.
Nice.
It was a two-way street, not just one way.
That it should be a two-way street, especially.
Okay, another thing. I'm settled in my home, my parents' home. I have left a settled life to come and live with you.
Right.
My life is unsettled. I have to resettle my life with different environment. So why do people say that once you get married, your life is settled, it's sorted? No, it is not sorted. You get deeper and deeper into shit. But depends how you handle it also. Because in marriage, you have to have give and take. Unfortunately, the woman has to keep giving. In today's life.
In today's age also, I think now that.
I think, but
Yeah.
a lot of youngsters are now, as you had mentioned about, the boy is not earning too much and she is.
Yeah.
They have an understanding. It doesn't matter, you stay at home and work from the house.
Right.
And children come, you can look after the children. They have to be happy about it. In-laws and parents can say what they like. But nobody wants to go outside of that box.
Do you think it's better that one is maybe in a relationship, because I think फिर वो हक वगैरह नहीं आता. I think after marriage एक वो okay, maybe in a serious relationship obviously वो भी है, but I think marriage just because you're married you start behaving in a certain way कि ये मत करो वो मत करो या ऐसे ये करो, and I don't know why people try to change each other. In a relationship, after maybe a long relationship, maybe people expect, but marriage kind of gives you that stamp that yes, you can, I can tell you to change, you have to listen to me because I want you to change this or whatever. What do you?
But that's what marriage does. Why not stay? Why do you have to have that piece of paper
Yeah.
which says you're married? What does that mean?
Yeah.
You can still have your own things, you can still have your own will, your own property, your own whatever, share it.
Yeah. Eventually, what is the purpose of marriage, right? I mean, okay, so two people are in love, they get married, they decide to stay together. What I truly feel is, I think people, and that's what I realize, I might be wrong, but I realize that maybe people change also, the expectations also change at times, and I don't want to sound wrong, but I think people also fall out of love. Do you think so?
Absolutely.
Because a marriage ideally is considered like a lifelong, perpetual thing, right? I don't know what lasts. Okay, one interesting thing you said was settle down. I don't know why people say being married is settling down is okay if you are financially settled, but settling in marriage, I have a different view on life altogether of what is settling down. I mean, what is really permanent in life? Nothing. What is
Well,
settling?
according to so-called elders, कि शादी हो जाएगी सब ठीक हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
है ना? तो सब ठीक नहीं होता है. लड़की has to readjust.
Yeah.
The boy will do as much readjusting as he wants to.
Yeah.
शादी हो गई ना, you better follow the line. You have to toe the line. तुम कुछ भी कर लो. As a man, you do what you like. You can be a philanderer, you can have your affairs on the side. ठीक है बच्चों, what happens if your wife has an affair on the side? What do? The wife has to forgive the man. Okay, I forgive you.
Yeah.
But what about the other way around? No, she's a cheat, she's a this, she's that, she's a whore. What are you? You're a male whore then.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's actually
What else can you call him?
No, I agree. If it is there, then it should be mutual, right? It's not just the man doing whatever he wants to and the woman not doing. But these days, is it? Are we made to understand this, or maybe 40, 50 years ago, were women also looking outside marriage, or is it only now that we're made to feel this, that just because women are earning that they are doing it now? Because it happens now that women look outside marriage. I'm not judging anybody, but it's a fact. Is it really like that, or did it happen earlier also, when women were more housewives?
Well, if you think about the prehistoric times, where the man went hunting for the animal so that the wife could come and cook. So that was an understanding then, I suppose. I don't know if they actually got married per se and they had one wife, or it was just. But there are communities, like the Mormons and all those communities where you have, what's it called, a community living. Everybody is everybody's husband and wife, and everybody's children. This is your child, my child, is our children. That's another way of living together in harmony. But at the same time, can one man actually have so many women around him?
What if what if there was this concept of one woman having multiple husbands? It's never been like that. Maybe
You're
like
quite right, actually. It hasn't been like that.
it hasn't been like that.
Yeah. But it was an open secret to have before. I mean, even now, I suppose. I don't know where. Roman days, whatever. Purane Jamane mein ki there's your wife, and that's her role in the house.
Yeah.
And that's the man's keep on the side. She accepted it, and that was it. That was it, because she had no other way.
Right.
She had no other place to go. She got married for a purpose of giving this man children and giving him the children his name to move forward. And the rest of the time he was a philanderer.
Interesting. This is coming from somebody who's obviously has children. I'm not married. I don't have children. But then she's seen life more than me. But then again, we're discussing it very to each his own, right? But interesting perspective, especially that perspective of a man could have a lot of wives, but it's never been like that a woman can have a lot of husbands.
Ish, your mom told me a few things about you.
Yeah.
She's very happy you'd come back to Delhi.
Yeah.
And but what made you come back? I know you were into acting, and you have a great sense of humor, by the way.
Thank you.
So, what made you come back? And
okay, so acting is, I think, the longest thing that I've done in my life. I'll be turning 45 soon. 16 years I've given to acting. What made me come back was I just felt that beyond a point, like when I went to Mumbai, I was very idealistic, I think, about acting. If somebody said that you have to network and all, I was like, nahi, ho jayega, or whatever. Alongside, I did that also, but I just felt that, and I'm not blaming anyone, but I just felt that I wasn't, post-COVID, maybe it wasn't moving the kind of way it wanted, and I felt a lot of years had gone by into it. So either I would continue it, or I would, I don't know, start something else, because staying in Mumbai didn't really make sense. I wasn't getting the kind of work I wanted to. For one particular work, I had to wait for that one work in 1 year, I had to wait almost the whole year. And I just thought that I'm growing a little tired of it. So I thought, I don't know, maybe, and acting, I think, is something that I feel, it's like driving a car. So I don't think I'll ever forget it. But if there's something that comes later, I maybe do it, but I'm not actively pursuing it right now, as of today. That's why I moved.
how would you like to act on stage?
For the time being, I don't know, I have this block. I don't want to act on stage right now. In fact, interestingly, I've not acted on stage.
Would you like to try?
There's something inside me that says no. It's like, You know, like your body says yes or a no. It's like it says no right now.
Okay, so one thing I feel very strongly about is I also have these feelings in nahi karo. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. How
True.
about that one audition
True.
or that one step on the stage where you have a monologue of say half a minute or 1 minute,
True.
and the director tells you what are the emotions you have to show.
Yeah.
Will you be able to do it? I think you can, because you're basically an actor.
Yeah.
And whether you're acting in front of a camera or on stage, okay, live audience, there are not too many cuts and takes, retakes. Maybe is that what is making you happy?
No. That's not the hesitation. Learning dialogues or no, that's not really the hesitation. The hesitation is just that maybe ever since, this is very honest, ever since I moved back, it's some craving for something more stable to do, which I can grow. Acting again, I would say that if I act, it will be more like a hobby. But then again, my mind will also, at least this point, my mind says, where will this lead? If you're doing this, you're giving this amount of time to acting, where is it going to lead?
But don't think too much about where is this going to take me. You enjoy.
Because I don't intend to really move back to.
No, don't enjoy the process, because that process might make you move forward. Because you're not trying it. You've given up before you've tried it. So I'm not saying you have given it up,
Yeah.
but you're thinking about it. If you're thinking about it, find out a couple of actors, directors. I'll put you on to 1 or 2 people. Say, give it a shot. No harm in giving it a shot.
No harm in giving it a shot.
So try it once, see what happens. You never know.
You never know. Correct.
Who knew I'd make a movie on Auroville, on Chandni Chowk, and write a poetry on
Right.
Lodi Gardens?
No,
and
absolutely. It's just.
this bus movie. Who knew I'd do all that?
Yeah.
I liked the story.
Yeah.
I showed it to someone.
Yeah.
It started going full circle.
True.
It's just luck at that moment,
Yeah.
because I had creative people on my side at that time.
Just an impulse you're following.
Yeah, it was totally impulsive. No thought went behind my actions. No thought. Chodu, I need to do this. This is the story. This is okay. He also got excited.
Nice. I'll surely think about this. Right now, it's just, I know why I said no, but yeah, maybe I had given this a thought of, because there is theatre scene in Delhi.
Lots.
It is lots. It's lots. Yeah, there are plays happening. In fact, ideally, Shriram Center, it's nearby. It's near National School of Drama. I've seen a lot of National School of Drama people, as far as I understand, haven't moved to Mumbai. They're very idealistic. They want to just do theatre and they want to just stay in Delhi, and they don't want to maybe
But
pursue
sometimes
things.
they form a sort of a clique. What do you call it? I don't know.
Community or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It's very, and sometimes very difficult to put your foot into it, because they have certain concept about theatre. Very close-minded at times.
I'm a little philosophical, but how I would put this is that loving acting is maybe one thing, pursuing a successful career in that is maybe a different thing. It's just like falling in love with someone, but then getting married to someone. So do you think if you truly love something, should you pursue it for monetary reasons, just like acting? Because as I said, if you could be a great actor and not all that monetarily successful, but
If you're passionate about it, just do it.
okay.
It's
So
bound
we're
to
talking
take you
about
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's bound to take you somewhere. Say, as a comedian,
Yeah.
or as a what do you call it, the supporting actor, because every actor needs a supporting actor.
Right.
You need not have to be an Amitabh Bachchan or a Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You can be Ashish Bhatia, who does damn good acting.
Right.
Why not?
Some more on golf.
So in golf you have to observe certain rules. Now you can't take your time about hitting the ball and teeing off. So what happened one day was, I was about to tee off and I looked down and I found a ladybird, and I didn't want to harm it. It was sitting on the ball. So I picked it up. I picked up the ball and the ladybird walked all over my hands. I mean, she was so happy. I mean, I presume it was a she. And eventually wouldn't go. And there were people about to hit behind me, and they were like screaming, "Get off the course, you're holding up the course." So anyway, I walked to the side and I put the ladybird on a bush. And I said, "Now you sit over here, I'm going to tee off." So later on when I met these guys are very impatient on the course also. I said, look, I had a ladybird sitting on the golf ball and I didn't want to injure it. So when you're looking at the ball, don't you look at the ball before hitting?
Yeah.
And if there's a little thing on it, don't you want to stop and not beat it to a pulp?
Right.
So they started laughing. They said, yes, we understand that. It's okay.
It's just random conversations we had. This is, I don't know which part, I'll have to edit this. I'm not putting it across like a podcast, it's just random conversations. But if you've not watched the earlier ones before this would be like a 13-14 minute something. You can scroll and watch it above. And we'll try and do one on the golf course.
Yeah, that will be nice because I'm a different person on the golf course. I enjoy the golf with my caddy.
Right.
Basically, I'm not very fond of human beings, you know.
I'm sorry I'm interrupting here, but this different person is a very interesting perspective. I think everybody is really a different person, especially I think everybody is an actor, right? Being a woman, being a wife, being a this thing, and when you're alone, you're a different person. It's there with everybody, right? When you're doing your favorite thing, when you're angry, do you get angry often? Do you?
Angry the most when I'm driving, because then I can, like, I don't know, have a fit with the person next door, because you know driving today in Delhi has become very obnoxious.
Yeah.
But I get angry if somebody says they're going to do something and they don't do it. Then don't make promises. If I make a promise, I do my best to make sure it's done.
Right.
I expect the same of the other person. Again, expectations. That's another topic.
Yeah.
You do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Without saying, okay, Ashish, I've done this for you. Only I've done this for so and so. They've done nothing for me. But you were the person who was meant to do it for that person. That person couldn't do it herself. So you helped her and you did it and you moved her forward.
Right.
You've done your job. That was your job. It's like being a director and an actor.
Yeah.
So you help that person to move forward. Today I know that an actor gets far more accolades than the director or the editor.
True. People have spoken. Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. People have
But
spoken about.
when I look at a film, I think about the editing.
Yeah.
I think about the direction. You cannot move from left to right without the director telling you.
Of course.
Stand there, do that, sit down, don't do that.
Of course.
But people forget. It's not just the actor. It's what has happened. It's like cooking.
Yeah.
Great biryani.
Right.
But what has gone into it? What has the cook done? I bought all the ingredients.
Yeah, but how you made it, right? That's two people given the same ingredients can't cook the same.
So I've given him
biryani.
everything. Now you make the biryani, but don't put chilies.
Yeah.
That's my input
Right.
for any food right now. But I like to make certain things. So one day I'll make my special bake for you.
Lovely. We'll try that and we'll try and do an episode on that. And yeah, we'll have many more conversations. Till then, you can watch the conversations before this. And yeah, keep watching more videos. Bye-bye then.
Bye. Thank you for today.
Thank you. A lot of people, I think, have this confusion of spirituality isn't religion. I think spirituality, if I say what I understand is spirituality is just the human spirit, just exploring life, respecting the other person and not being too touchy about religion. What are you, spiritual or religious?
Spirituality is a way of life. Like I met you. It is a connection and you're good to each other and you're kind to each other. This is what the Gita teaches you, about living life with care and love and consideration. So I try and do that as much as possible, but I don't go to temples. I don't believe in temple worship and ringing a bell. But if somebody tells me, I'm going to so-and-so temple, it's a beautiful space, why don't you come with me, I will go. But not with the purpose of putting down laddus and bribing God ki I will chadhao 20,000 laddus if you make my dreams come true.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I said, you talk to God. Why can't you do it in the house? Your temple is 5 kilometers away. But she likes to go there because she has that atmosphere. So I'll sit in my garden and I'll meditate. I'll sit in my room and meditate. And think about and just be one with my surroundings.
So one can be spiritual yet believe in God, and just pray. And what do your views about praying?
What is God? God is a supreme power.
Yeah.
Now, there are many aspects to God. There's a God of wealth, and there's a God of health, and there's a God of whatever. So, I think for the common man also, certain figures have been made. That's what I think. I was told that. But for me, praying to God is just sitting in silence and praying to a supreme power, which is what I don't know. But it is a spiritual connection at that moment, putting your thoughts out into the universe, you can say, and hoping and praying that these things, whatever that you're aspiring to do, and work towards it. Don't just sit there, मैंने भगवान के ऊपर छोड़ दिया है. थोड़ा अपने तरफ से भी कुछ काम करो to get what you want.
Right. So this whole thing of what you said of praying to God, and prayer can be just a simple thing of just praying in your private time. There's no language, there's no nothing, right? You can just
You light a candle
yeah.
and sit in front of it, and you pray to a higher power. You can call it Ganesh, you can call it Lakshmi, you can call it Shiv. I call it Shiv because I think of Shiv as a supreme high power. I may not have that Shiv statue in front of me, but for me Shiv symbolizes power. And I don't have the word for it. Like a trust in the power of Shiva.
Yeah.
So I can pray to Shiva without having to sit in front of a statue. Shiva is a power for me. For me, that power is Shiva's face. It could be the face of a lion, could be. That is Shiva. Shiva means power.
Right.
Not a face, the way people symbolize him to be.